All right, a very good afternoon to everyone. The Second Region Child Protection Court Number 1, Liberty County, is now in session. We have one matter on our docket this afternoon, and I see the attorneys assembling. Mr. Hip, good afternoon. Mr. Pencil.
How are you?
Good afternoon, Judge.
Very, very good. Thank you. Good afternoon.
We got electricity at about 8:30 last night.
Wow.
Oh, wow. Wow. That's a big wow. I can't believe that. That's a long time.
It's a long time.
That's a long time. Wow. Um, Judge, I was going to ask if we can be put, me and Sierra can be put in a breakout room with our clients just for a very short, like 2 or 3 minutes.
Yes, I'll go ahead and I believe I see your client, Mr. Ware. And Ms. Kersey, is that you?
Hey.
Mr. Ware, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, very good. Is Ms. Kersey there, Jennifer? Yes or no?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Okay,
Your
very,
Honor.
very good. I'm going to rename that device.
And Judge, we and I, we've come, we're going to agree to TMC. I think the parents are going to agree to TMC. The thing is, when we were getting pulled back in, we're at the point where we're asking them if they had any questions about what that means. So I don't know if they understood the effect of this.
Okay. Let me give you all a few more moments. So if you all will again watch your screens, accept the invitation to go back into breakout room number 1, and I believe we're waiting on Ms. Trousdale as well.
Yes,
And
sir.
I think she told us she had a mediation this morning. So I believe Mr. Hip must have heard your announcement just now. So if you all will stand by one more time, we'll do this again. Take time to do this.
Judge, we are done. I think Mr. Pouncil's coming back, and I think our clients should be if they, or we may need to close out the breakout room.
All right, very good. Thank you. I will close that out. And
Oh, there they are.
there they are. Okay. All right. I think everyone is here. So,
I'm sorry, Judge.
oh, not at all. Thank you very much. It sounds like we may have an agreement. We'll see. I'll take an W for an adversary continuation of adversary hearing. The court will note that the mother, Jennifer Kersey, and the father, Austin Ware, are both present with counsel. So why don't we start our announcements with Ms. Tanner and Mr. Pouncil?
Yes, Your Honor, we are ready. We have an agreement for TMC with the department.
Okay. Any other issues?
The issue that we would have, Your Honor, is that I believe in prior hearings, the court was made aware that our clients have no transportation, so we would be asking the court to order CPS to facilitate that transportation for Mr. Ware and Ms. Kersey, because otherwise it would be next to impossible for them to do their services. Ms. Kersey has also expressed interest in getting into Santa Maria, and I would ask that information, she lost the information for Santa Maria. I'd ask that CPS forward that information to her again.
Okay, all right, very good. Then, Mr. Hip, do you want to talk to the attorneys, maybe in a breakout room? If you need to do that before we get on the record, just let me know at this point. Or before.
I'm not sure I need to talk to them. I mean, my client needs to let us know whether they can facilitate this or not. I hope so. I certainly hope so.
Okay, Ms. Gorzoria?
I mean, I can't guarantee it. In my unit, I only have one transporter, and since this is going to be going to CVS, that would be a question for them if they're going to be able to commit to being able to transport the parents to everything they need to do.
Do we know who the CVS caseworker or supervisor would be?
I believe the supervisor is Miss Hilda. Give me 1 second and I'll find out for you. 1 second.
Very good. Mhm. Go ahead.
Yeah, and Judge, I guess this goes without saying. Also, we would like to have the visitation and the services as close as possible to their residents, in addition to the transportation as well.
Sure, sure. Now for the services that can be accessed virtually,
Yeah.
I guess your clients are able to do that, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. And I think also if Miss Kersey is able and eligible to be admitted into Santa Maria, and Miss Williams will probably know better than I would, and Miss Gresoria, they may have services that she can do there on site.
They should.
That may alleviate some of the transportation issues in regards to CPS.
Yes.
But I did let Miss Kersey know that they would get the information to her. It may be today or tomorrow before she could actually contact them. Because it's about 1:30 right now.
Right.
Okay, Your Honor.
Yes, ma'am.
The caseworker assigned to the substages is Christina Ritchie, and I believe she's being supervised by Miss Hilda. I don't believe they are on.
I don't believe so either. Can you give me Miss Hilda's full name?
Yes, give me 1 second.
Thank you. Okay, and I believe Ms. Williams, will you be able to get the mother whatever information she needs
Yes, sir.
to do another intake with Santa Maria?
Yes, sir.
Okay, very good. And if mom gets in, it might be that the children can be brought there to visit with her on a supervised basis.
Judge, did you want me to reach out to Miss Purnell to see if she can join, or did you just want?
Yes, if you don't mind, I would like to know kind of the availability of any tech for transport to visits and services. Mr. Hip, is the department asking, or I can ask Ms. Williams under Ms. Rosaria, is the department asking for any drug testing order today?
Yes, sir.
Yes, yes, Your Honor. If I may, Miss Kersey was transported today to do her drug testing UA that was ordered from the last hearing. But unfortunately, she was not able to urinate. And I think she had some, so she wasn't able to go.
Okay, right.
Judge, I just got an automatic response from her email that she's in a jury trial right now. I don't know if that went forward or not, but so
Okay.
she won't be available.
That sounds like Montgomery County.
Yeah, I think Kimberly reached out as well.
Thank you. Okay, Ms. Williams, do you know when the FGC is scheduled, if it has been?
The FTC.
The family group conference?
I'm not sure as of right now.
Okay. And Ms. Trousdale, whenever you're able to, I'll take a report on placement.
Yes, sir. With the weather, I haven't made it out there, but I have talked to them.
Okay, and what is this foster home or relative?
It's relative, it's a grandparent.
Is it Ms. Domer?
Yes.
Okay, I believe she's
We've had a couple of conversations since the kids have been there and spoken in length. And so I'm planning to get out there this week, Judge.
okay. Very, very good. And I believe she is here. And that's Ms. Domer is paternal, right?
Yes.
Okay, let me get everybody sworn in, and we'll get the agreement on the record. And of course, we'll make the ICWA inquiries and do the admonitions. So, yes?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Okay, all right, thank you. Okay, Mr. Hip, if you want to call Ms. Williams.
Ms. Williams,
Yes, sir.
you're agree with being temporary managing conservator of the two kids in this case, correct?
Yes, sir.
And you think that's in their best interest?
Yes, sir.
That's the witness.
All right, thank you. Any questions from anyone for Ms. Williams? Okay, thank you. Ms. Tanner, you may call your client.
Miss Kersey, could you please state your name?
Jennifer Kersey.
Okay. And are you the mother of both of these children?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Miss Kersey, I'm just going to ask you some questions. They may seem a little silly, but we've got to do this for legal purposes. So, is Mr. Ware the father of both children?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Is he on the birth certificate for
Yes,
both?
ma'am.
Okay. If you know, did he sign an acknowledgement of paternity?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So they handed you paperwork in the hospital and both of you signed off on it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And what hospital were both children born in?
Wood.
In Kingwood? Okay. That's just to make sure that if CPS needs to track down that AOP, that they know what county to go to.
Yes.
Which hospital? Was it the HCA Kingwood Hospital?
I believe so. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. The one right off 59?
Yes, ma'am. The real big one.
Yes. Okay. Okay. Now, Ms. Kersey, you understand that we're agreeing to temporary managed conservatorship by the department, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You understand this doesn't terminate your parental rights. It just CPS is making decisions right now for the children. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And you understand that CPS is going to ask for certain services. You understand that, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You understand that there's going to be a meeting between ourselves and CPS where we all get together and decide on a service plan. You understand that, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And you understand that those services could include drug testing, classes, stuff like that. You understand, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And are you committed to complying with all those services? Okay. And are you also committed to making sure that now Miss Celeste is not going to be your caseworker after this. You'll have a new caseworker.
Yes, ma'am.
And you understand that it is your job to maintain contact with that caseworker.
Of course. Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
And it's also your responsibility to make sure that that caseworker has all of your information to contact you.
Of course. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And another question, Ms. Kersey, do you or anyone in your family that you know of, do you guys have any Native American ancestry?
I do. But
Okay.
it's kind of hard to explain. My mom knows more.
That's okay. So, do you know what tribe that you may belong to?
Cherokee.
Cherokee. Okay. Do you know if you're actually on a tribal roll?
No, ma'am.
Okay. What's the closest relative you have that has Native American heritage?
My mom and my brother.
Okay. And your mom would know more about that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Well,
Yes, ma'am.
Do you see the device marked Tina Domer?
No.
No, ma'am.
Okay. That's okay. Did your mom tell you that she would be in court today?
I don't talk to her.
Okay, okay. That's fine. So the children are placed currently with Miss Domer, is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. For now, are you okay with where they're placed?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Do you have any concerns for their safety or well-being while with Miss Domer?
No, ma'am.
Okay. You, however, would like to have your children placed with you as soon as possible. Is that right?
Yep.
Okay. But you believe that right now with Miss Domer is in their best interest,
Yes,
that they're
ma'am.
safe.
Yes.
Okay. And are you asking the court if the court is able to order CPS to provide you transportation to your services and visitation?
Yes, ma'am, please.
Okay. Because you do not have visitation right now. I'm sorry, transportation right now. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. Thank you. I'll pass the witness.
All right, thank you. And just for clarity of the record, Ms. Kersey, Ms. Domer is Mr. Ware's mother and Eva Brooks is your mother. Is that correct?
Your Honor.
Okay, all right, thank you. Any questions from anyone for Ms. Kersey?
No questions, Your Honor.
I have none.
No,
Okay,
sir.
all right, thank you. Thank you, Ms. Kersey. Mr. Pouncil, you may call Mr. Ware.
Thank you, Judge. Mr. Ware, do you also agree to give the department temporary managing conservatorship at this time?
Yes, sir.
And is it also your understanding that you're to do services and continue to visit the children?
Yes, sir.
Are you also in agreement with the children's current placement at this time?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And I'm going to ask you, are you aware of any Native American ancestry for your side of the family?
Not enough that it would be any relevancy.
Okay. And if you think about it and you believe that there are something there, you agree to discuss that with the caseworker and inform CPS.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
If anything, it would be what is it? Blackfoot Indian, but I think that would be it.
Okay, but you agree you would discuss that with CPS.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And now in terms of your transportation, you're also requesting that the court order that the department provide transportation for your visits and for your services?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And just for the record, can you tell the court, do you have a vehicle?
No, sir.
Do you have any friends or family that you can ask for rides?
Not really.
Okay. And have I answered all your questions regarding this?
Yes, sir.
Do you believe that you agree? I mean, do you understand the terms of giving the department temporary managing conservatorship?
Yes, sir.
Has anyone forced you or promised you anything for your agreement today?
No.
And so your agreement today to give the department temporary managing conservatorship is done freely and voluntarily. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Do you believe that this agreement would be in the best interest of your children?
Yes, sir.
Your Honor, I pass the witness.
All right, thank you. Any questions from anyone for Mr. Ware?
Not for me.
Okay,
Judge,
all right.
I don't know if y'all clarified this earlier. Or Cortez will let him answer this, but Mr. Ware, have you agreed to go into treatment as well, or just to an assessment?
I think Ms. Pouncil.
It's an assessment.
Okay.
We'll agree to do services. We just want to have an opportunity to see what those services are going to look like at this time.
Okay. That's what I needed, Judge. Sorry.
And Your Honor, if Eva Brooks is on, I'd like to call her as a witness to try and pin down the Native American heritage.
Yeah, I was going to call both placements, but that's fine too, whichever.
let's see.
I'm sorry, one placement, both grandparents. I was going to call both grandparents.
Okay. Well, maybe they're together. They were together, I believe, the very first time. So let me see first, Eva Brooks or Eva Brooks, Ms. Brooks. Are you there? And Ms. Domer, is she there with you?
That's Miss Domer.
But is the lady with the white hair, is that Miss Brooks with the glasses?
Yeah.
Okay. So I don't show that they are muted, but I cannot hear them. I don't know if they can hear us. Their reactions seem like they might be able to hear us. Ms. Domer, if you can work on the audio there.
Can one of you raise your hand if you can hear us?
Ms. Brooks, can you wave your hand, raise your hand if you can hear me? This is Judge Lockwood. Ms. Brooks, what about Ms. Domer?
I don't think they can hear us,
I
Judge.
wonder what they think they're listening to.
Like, this seems to be rocking away there. What I'm going to do is
I can call it. I can try to call or text Miss Domer, Judge, really quick.
what I'm going to do, if I can even do this, is I'm going to basically remove them and
put them back in to see if it'll
see if it'll work. So, but if you don't mind, Ms. Trousdale, maybe you can go ahead and try to call them.
Yes. Hey, Judge, they couldn't hear us. Should they choose the dial-in instead of the Wi-Fi on the audio, or do you know?
They may do that.
Try the dial-in. I'm going to hang up. If you have a problem with it, I mean, if it doesn't work, you can text me, okay? And just so you know, they didn't hear anything, so they're not aware of I told them there was an agreement, but they're just not aware of anything.
Okay. All right. Very good. All right. I believe that's Ms. Domer, and it shows that it's connecting to audio, so we'll give her a moment. So while we're waiting, Ms. Kersey and Mr. Ware, if you all can, there you go. Thank you. All right. Since both of you have been sworn in, I'll start with you, Ms. Kersey. Are you a member of any Native American or Alaskan tribe or nation?
No, sir.
Okay. And what about you, Mr. Ware?
No, sir.
Okay.
Hello?
All right. So that's one of the prongs. Ms. Domer, is that you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, very good. Mr. Ware, do you recognize your mother's voice there?
Yes, sir.
Okay, very good. All right. So, Ms. Domer, is Ms. Brooks there with you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And was that you speaking up, Ms. Brooks?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let me get both of you, to raise your right hands to be sworn. We do have an agreement in the matter, but the law requires us to make some inquiries whether there's any Native American heritage, okay, or membership. Domer, yes, Ms. Brooks?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. All right, so Ms. Tanner or Ms. Trousdale?
I'll let Allison go ahead and handle.
Judge, did you want to ask them about the Native American heritage, or you want me to cover that?
You can cover that if you will.
Miss Domer, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, this is Allison, the attorney for the children.
Yes, ma'am.
Right. Ms. Domer, are both of these children placed at your home at this time?
Yes.
Okay. We're on YouTube Live, so I don't want you to say their names, but are the children doing well?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Are you able to support both of these children while the parents work some services?
Yes, ma'am.
And have these children lived with you before?
Yes, ma'am.
And you stated Miss Eva Brooks is there with you, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And is she also a support for you in helping take care of these kids?
Yes, ma'am.
And who else resides in your home?
My husband, Mike, and my mother, Jessie Silcox. She goes back and forth between me and my sister.
Okay. And you have other family that lives on the property, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And so do you feel like you have a network of support there for you to be able to care for these children at this time?
Yes, ma'am.
And do you think and do you believe it's in the children's best interest to remain with you, to remain with family while the parents work some services?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And you understand that the goal for the department is for these parents to work services and to be in a position to be reunited with these children at some point in the future.
Yes, ma'am.
And you, at this time, you feel that you could support that goal and help work towards that goal.
Oh, yeah, always.
Okay. Do you have any Native American heritage?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Are you enrolled in any tribe?
No.
Native American tribe? No. And is your son?
No.
And what knowledge do you have of your Native American heritage?
My mother's grandfather is 100%, I think it's Blackfoot.
Okay. Do you know if your mother was enrolled in a tribe?
No.
Do you know if
Nope.
do you know if your son is eligible to be enrolled in the tribe?
I think he could. I mean, from my knowledge of how you do that, I believe he could.
Judge, I'm not sure if I'm missing any questions on that.
I don't believe so.
I think you got it.
I'll pass the witness.
Right. Thank you. Any questions from anyone for Ms. Domer?
No questions, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you. Ms. Trousdale, you may call your next.
I would call Miss Brooks.
All right.
Yes, ma'am.
Miss Brooks, would you state your full name for the court, please?
It's Ava C. Brooks.
And Miss Brooks, you are the maternal grandmother to these two children, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And are you able to, do you see these children often, even though they're in Miss Domer's care?
Oh, yes, ma'am. Yes.
You live nearby, correct?
Yes.
And do you feel that it's in the children's best interest to reside at Mr. and Mrs. Domer's home while the parents work services?
Yes.
Are you aware of any needs that the children may have that are not being met in the Domer home?
No.
And are you aware of any Native American heritage that your daughter has?
My mother had Apache and my great-great-grandmother was full-blooded Cherokee, but we have not been assigned a tribe or anything. No, ma'am.
Okay. So you nor your daughter are registered in any Native American tribe or Alaskan tribe?
No.
Okay. And do you know if she's eligible to be enrolled?
I don't believe so. No.
Okay. I pass the witness, Judge.
All right. Thank you. Any questions from anyone for Ms. Brooks? All right. Thank you, Ms. Brooks. Thank you. Okay. Anything else from anyone else? Okay. Ms. Trousdale, you've probably not heard back from Ms. Perrell, have you?
I don't think so. Let me check my email really quick, Judge. I'm sorry.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
No, sir, I have not.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Okay, at this time, based on the evidence and the agreement of the parties, the court does make the requisite 262 findings, names the department as the temporary managing conservator of both of the children, SW and EW, the subject of this suit, names the parents temporary possessory conservators, approves of the ongoing placement until further order of the court with the paternal grandmother of both children, Ms. Domer. Our status hearing, which will be the next hearing in this matter, will be June the 24th, at 9 a.m., and that will be in person. Now, you all will have a meeting, Ms. Kersey and Mr. Ware, with CPS and your attorneys and your support systems between now and the status hearing. You have you've talked about your respective family plans of service or service plans. At that meeting, it's generally called a family group conference. You will get together with the department and all your support systems, your attorneys. CASA, of course, will be there, the guardian ad litem for the children. And it will be a conference. It will be a give and take and exchange in terms of what services you all feel like you need, what services the others feel like you need. And you'll forge out your respective service plans. Now, it will be a list of resources, evaluations, classes, and the like to address in a very narrow and tailored way, ideally in a laser sort of way, exactly what the concerns are and what brought us here. Okay, you all know perhaps what they are better than anyone, and so that's why this is a conference. Okay, and so you will play a hand in that. When we come back for the status hearing that I mentioned on June the 24th at 9 a.m., I'm going to ask you if you have any questions about your service plans, because at that time I will make both your service plans orders of the court. And what that means is that you have to do them. You have to abide by them. You have to complete them. And it's more than a mere list, right? It's something that you have to do, things you have to learn, skills you have to acquire and or sharpen, changes you have to make. Stop doing the things that you know you shouldn't be doing. Start doing things differently or better or additionally. Y'all know what these are, and we're here for you. Okay. All of this is pointed towards and oriented towards you all being able to offer a safe environment for your children. I appreciate and respect very much your presence at every setting we've had so far, your cooperation, and your apparent readiness to do whatever it takes, not just to get your children back, but to put your children first by taking better care of their mommy and their daddy going forward. Okay, so this is a very difficult thing, a very painful thing, but I think at some level, you know, it's the right thing, it's the best thing. Because your children are only going to be children, minors, that is, for another 16 and 14 years. So let's do this right. Let's don't waste any time. We gotta grow up. We gotta realize that just about every single thing y'all do affect, for good or bad, your children. That's just the way it is. And so remember that. Do whatever it takes to get into recovery and stay there. All right. And so whatever it takes, Mom, I said that the status hearing is in person on June the 24th. The same would go for you, Mr. Ware. If you all are in rehab, you certainly may appear virtually, and that would make me so happy to see in the background what I know is the Santa Maria or Bonita House or something like that. So please, please don't waste any precious time. Okay. Now I'm going to order both of you to submit to your analyses and hair follicles by the end of testing tomorrow, provided that the department can facilitate transportation to those drug tests. This is not a gotcha thing. This is just to gauge where we are, what we need to address, and what we need to conquer. Okay. Now, I probably have more confidence in the two of you than y'all have in each other right now. I don't know, but y'all can do this. Okay. And you have a great team, a great support system around you. We're all happy that the children can be with family during this very difficult time. And so you'll want to make your visits. I'm going to, Mr. Hip, order that the department make good faith, reasonable efforts to provide transportation, A, to the services that are not virtual, B, to the visits, and C, to their drug testing when the department wants to send them. Now, as to these visits, Mr. Ware and Ms. Kersey, I'm going to require that you all give at least 24 hours notice if you're not going to be able to make it to the visit. And I would hope that you would have a very good excuse, you know, like you have some sort of contagion, or you're in the hospital or in a ditch or something like that, not to see my children. Okay. So I'm going to give you all this admonition that the law requires. Mr. Ware still there?
He had to go to the restroom real quick. I'm sorry.
Okay. Well, I'm going to wait till he gets back because it's that important.
Yes.
You've probably heard me give this to other parents, and I'll be giving it to you all every time we're in court together. So don't dare let me forget it. Okay. It could not be more important. And it's this, Ms. Kersey, Mr. Ware, if at the end of this case, okay, and right now the end of this case is May the 5th, 2025. Hopefully you all will take care of business and provide a safe environment well in advance of that. But if you are not willing and able to do that by the end of this case, your parental rights may be further restricted or even terminated permanently. And I know you don't want that to happen. And we're early enough on in this thing to say, then don't let it. Don't let it. And none of us wants that to happen. Now, I told you your service plans are going to become orders of the court. And one thing that means that we have to keep in our minds is that if you don't do it, make these changes, demonstrate that you've done so, demonstrate that you can provide a safe environment. If you don't, then the department could, under the law, use that as a ground to ask me to terminate your rights in the future. So let's don't even go there. Okay.
Yes,
okay. All right. So again, thank you very much for your cooperation, your presence, and your readiness to do what it takes
Thank
to
you
provide a safe environment for your children, whom I know love you, want you, and deserve you. Okay. All right. So with that, anything else, Mr. Hip?
No, sir. Just good luck to both of y'all.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Mr. Chip.
Yeah, right on. Very good. Thank you. All right. So I'll sign an order that orders that comport with this rendition, And if there's not anything else, Mr. Pouncil, Ms. Tanner, Ms. Trousdale, then thank you all very much. You all are excused. We'll be adjourned until Mr. Hip, I think Wednesday, 9 o'clock in person at JP1 off of Coss Street.
I'll be there.
All right. So thank you all. Please take care. Thank you very much. You're excused.
Thank you, Coach.